Hi, I'm Zann. I am 22 this year and I am a current Team Singapore national athlete for boxing. Currently representing Singapore for a few games. I recently just represented Singapore in the Asian Youth Boxing Championships and as well as the Olympic qualifiers. When I was growing up, it was my dad who put me into the sport. So my dad was very supportive. He's like a die-hard fan. And my mom was okay with it at first because to her it was more like self-defense and like a little bit of like activity after school, you know, sports. But when it started to become serious, that's when my mom started having objections because it's common, right? No mom would want to see their kid being hit in the face. A lot of her friends and family would call her and say that the one that you are putting in for this sport is actually a girl, not a boy. Like what everybody would think, you are a girl, you should find a sport that is girlier, no contact, you know, you need to protect yourself, you need to give birth, you need to get married. Yeah, so my mom was affected by all these comments, definitely. In fact, not only told me about it, she actually was unhappy about it. She wanted to object me from doing the whole sport. She wanted to stop me from doing the whole sport. When she told me this, when she objected me, the only thing that came to my mind was, then I need to show you guys that what I can do. But I needed her to give me the opportunity to do it. Because I know what I'm capable of. Since I was young, I know that I'm not afraid to get hit in the face. I think the turning point was because I had to like compete secretly. So what I would do is my dad would bring me to go and compete secretly and my mom wouldn't be there in the very first few sparrings, in the very first few competition. But there was this one competition that my mom came, and then when she saw me box at I think about 14 years old in the ring against an opponent who was way older than me at that time, who was in the elite level, then she's finally understood that it wasn't that dangerous. It wasn't as dangerous as she thought it was.
不然的 feeling out 然后一个的 through punches right away.
When I first joined the team, I was the only woman in the team. So I started like at a very young age being the only woman in the team. So I was kind of used to training with the guys. They never looked at me differently from them. So I always felt like I was part of them. So it was okay. It's always the new boys when they come into like sparring, training. And then sometimes I will hear comments like, hey, just like don't go so hard on her because she's a girl. Or like, you know, she's a girl, so sometimes we like hold back. Or like they will ask you like, are you okay or not? Just now, did I hit you too hard? I mean, it's very nice of them to ask me. But sometimes it's because you are a girl. That's why people do that, right? That's the only thing when we do sparring. But after a while, it will be okay. Yeah. It doesn't really hurt me when people like discriminate me in boxing because of my gender. I mean, it's personal, but it's not super personal. The thing that I really don't like is when people say, you are a girl, you have to get married and you have to give birth, so you shouldn't do the sport. To me, it's really like, just because I'm a boxer doesn't mean that I cannot get married one day, I cannot give birth. There are many boxers who, at the end of the day, women boxers, who still get married, who still give birth, come back to the scene. So who are you to tell me that I cannot do all these things as a boxer? Yeah, and everybody has different life choices. So to me, like that particular comment just gets me all the time. Every mom I meet will tell me, like, oh, you get hit, not pain meh? Your mom, okay she can watch you get hit. You know, that kind of thing. It's very like typical comments. Of course, nobody would want to see their daughter get hit. When you do boxing, right, it's a game of like, you hit but you don't want to get hit because you also defend yourself. So don't think that way. It's not just like getting hit repeatedly. You need to understand the sport to understand like how boxing works before we set a mindset on it. It will always be the people who don't know what you are doing who will make the most comments. People in the scene, they will respect you for who you are because they understand that even though you are a sportsman, even though you are an athlete, you can still live your life. You can still do the things you want to do. It's just that you might have to change your priorities in life, but you can still get back to it, you know. But people who are not in the scene, they will never understand because to them it's like, all they do is they see you in the ring and see you at training. So they think that, oh, your life is like this. You have no change. You're just going to get hit. The thing that would make me think about should I give up would never be about the comments. Because to me, when I'm doing the sport, even since at a very young age, I knew what I wanted. I knew that I could prove like everyone wrong. I know that I was driven. Any such comments that came to me would be a drive for me to prove to them that I could do it. It's like a motivation. I feel like if I want to do something, I should block out all these toxic comments. But for instances wise, I mean, when I go overseas sometimes and I fight, I'm not the best boxer out there. I am trying to be the best boxer out there, but I'm definitely not the best boxer out there. And after my fight, sometimes when it gets really bad, it becomes like I'm on a losing streak, you know? And I will like think to myself, is this really worth it? Am I doing the right thing? Do I have the proper resources? Can I really be there? That's when my doubts start to come in. I mean, for a period of time. But after that, it gets better. Every time you compete, you see a change in yourself, you see an improvement in yourself, and you realize that actually you're not too far away. Yes! Actually, until today, I still think about it. Like, why am I still doing this? Because I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. And I did it competitively since I was 13 years old. I put in a lot of effort into this whole journey. And I put in a lot of time, especially into this journey. And I do change certain parts of my life to do this sport, right? Like, you have to sacrifice to do something. And I realized that something that made me push through this whole journey is my passion for the sport, my love for the sport. Because I realized, like, I like this sport so much that it has become part of me. Yeah, so every time I think about quitting the sport, I realize I cannot do it because part of me still wants to box. Part of me still have this fire in me that I still want to continue this sport. So everything just comes down to like passion and hobby. Yeah. What advice would you give to people who are afraid in the same situation as you? You need to get rid of this fear and step out of your comfort zone and actually go and try the sport. Because someone told me once, like, if you don't try, you will never succeed. Which is true. Because if you don't make the first move, you will never really know whether you like the sport or not. Boxing has many kinds of training. You can always start by cardio, you can always start by punching the pads, hitting the bags. You don't always have to hit each other in the face. It's not what the sport is about. You'll never really know whether, oh, is it that scary? Yeah, so my advice to someone who is afraid, I would just say, just do it. It's not as scary as you think. And I mean, if it really is, you can always stop after that.